You walk into a math classroom and you can just see the misery. You already know, without even doing any math, that the next hour of your life is going to be absolutely agonizing. Doing math when someone forces you to feels like being hung over one of those big industrial-sized wood chippers, and also being expected to remember and recite the birthdays of every famous person in history, while acting like everything is fine. At least it is for me. I remember being in 9th grade, staying after school because I basically failed my algebra test, and I got so frustrated with the remediation work that I just broke down there crying. Props to my teacher though, she just gave me some candy, sent me on my way to clean myself up, and I ended that year with an A-. Still kinda bad by Asian parent standards, but it's not the end of the world. You have trauma so ingrained in your head that you can't not think math is miserable. I guess this is sort of because of teachers and school resources. Most teachers are thrown into a system where after they study education, they get nothing but flimsy training and a pat on the back before they have to teach math. So you end up with teachers that don't quite get how to explain math simply, even if they care a lot. And a lot of schools just don't have the money for better materials, models, good quality calculators, electronic resources, or anything that makes math feel actually tangible to students. Even in some of the richest cities in America, government-funded schooling is alright at best. I walked into class one day, and my teacher just had this up on the board. It was mortifying, but it baffles me that people choose to teach math this way when this just means count the squares in this area. 4, 8, 12, 14, 15, 16. Not that hard. So why do people choose to teach that way? I don't know. Everyone's brains work differently and need different explanations for it to click, but only a small percentage actually understand the current copy-paste lecture format, and yet we're still like, cool, everyone sit still and copy meaningless symbols off the board or fail. It gets a lot easier when you figure out what helps you learn best and try to understand things through that lens. For me, I find that graphs and thinking conceptually help, but you can listen to the concepts spoken to you, build models, measure them, run experiments, and I'm sure there are some games out there. You might think that some people are just naturally born math people, but that's almost never the case. The people that seem good at math just stuck with it long enough to get good, or got so much joy out of problem solving that they were motivated to do better. You might also think that by making this video I'm a math person, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. As a kid, I was just good enough at visualization to pass my elementary school geometry exams, and so I was thrust into all the accelerated classes and made to suffer. Some people are predisposed to being able to learn math faster than others, but those people are really, really rare and generally not found in the wild. People also have done a bunch of research on whether men or women are better at certain tests than others, and for a long time the consensus seemed to be that men were just born better at math. This led to a lot of stereotypes against women in mathematical fields, which I think is just insanity. It's true that there might be tiny differences between men and women, but these traits vary so much from person to person and are so socially influenced that I've seen more variability within members of the same sex than between sexes as a whole. And I also don't understand why people even need to study this. Like, why does it matter? All in all, math isn't evil. It's just been introduced to you in the worst way possible. And when you realize that, it turns into a weird, slightly annoying tool that you can actually use out in the world. Good luck!